Crypto prices rallied aggressively straight after the last two inaugurations, and with the next one coming up on Monday, next week is set to be one of the most exciting weeks of the year for crypto prices. In this video, I'm going to talk about why this diagram is one of the most important ones to set us up for a rally next week. I'm also going to talk about the key narrative for some of the most popular coins that's going to be sending a lot of those altcoins significantly higher in the coming weeks, and I'm going to talk about key indicators to let you know when it's time to take profits on certain coins and be moving your profits into others that are yet to pump so that you can make some of the biggest gains during this bull market. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and let's get into today's video. Now guys, before we dive across and look at those different charts and what they really mean for us, let's just have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, we have broken above this trend line that everyone's been excited about, but right now we're starting to test this key area of resistance. If we're breaking beyond here, we're very likely to be going much higher very soon. And why would that be? Well, if you've been in crypto for the last few years, then you all started to realize that actually, while it feels very different at the time, crypto, if you go back and look at the charts, is pretty cyclical. It doesn't really change that much. The same thing happens time and time again. Who knows why we get so confused about what's going to happen, because actually to a day almost, some of the price movements are pretty much the same. Now, as we look across at this chart, you can see that back in 2017, which was the last time that Donald Trump took office, the prices pumped pretty much straight away from the date of the inauguration. Yes, we did see a pullback, but we never came back to those inauguration date prices ever again. In 2021, we had a little pullback before the inauguration, probably like we've just done right now, and then we rallied much more aggressively. And now into 2025, with the pullback having just taken place, things are set for a very big rally towards the upside. Now you see what happens when crypto rallies higher, it inevitably ends up having a pullback. And this pullback is not random, it happens for a very good reason, and it happens when this chart doesn't look like this. It happens when this chart is all yellow and orange. Okay, the funding rate is simply the price it costs for you to take a leveraged trade. And that price goes up the more people that take leveraged trades. So a leveraged trade might be like me putting $100 on Bitcoin and using Forex to give me $400 of buying power. I then pay the funding rate on that $300 I've borrowed from the exchange to make that bet. Now, the more people that make the bet, the higher the funding rate. But right now, you can see that there is no people really in crypto leverage trading Bitcoin or any of the altcoins, at least not that many. And that's because they got taken out in moves like this one and this big one down here, which is actually really good news for us, because right now it means that Bitcoin is actually at a fair price. Bitcoin's price is being reflected by its actual spot value, the people who are actually buying it from their own pocket and holding that coin. This means it's a whole lot less volatile and less likely to dump, because not that many people will get liquidated if Bitcoin does dip back down. Not only that, but when Trump comes into office and we hear some positive news rolling out next week, which is more than likely, suddenly everyone bangs a load of long trades in, and then we get that volume returning to the market, which will send Bitcoin much higher in the short term. I do think in the short term we're going to rally, and then we could potentially see a bit of a dip before continuation. But we'll come to that later on. Now I get it. Many of you don't really care about Bitcoin because you're holding the altcoins because you want to see some big returns. And I get that. But we need to know what Bitcoin's doing because it tells us about the rest of the market. So what we got to think about is which altcoins are likely to rally first, and what are we going to do about it? Well, as you're already seeing, if we look across the markets, some of the bigger market cap altcoins have been rallying really strongly. And if we think back to what I said about crypto being pretty cyclical, it's going to make sense that we're going to likely see this happen again. Do you remember all the way back in November when Trump won the election and we suddenly saw a load of the large cap altcoins pumping like crazy that caught everyone completely off guard, and everyone trying to figure out for the life of them why these particular altcoins were booming? Well, simply it's because those altcoins, while they have other things going for them, were pumping because they were available on Coinbase and they were available on Binance. New money entered into the market. People who had been in the bull markets before, who hadn't touched their crypto in nearly 3 years, were coming and rushing back in, were trying to buy the altcoins that they already knew. That's why we saw the likes of Jasmy, Render, Cardano, XRP pumping. Now, obviously, those of you who are XRP fanatics, just give me a second to explain another reason that we might be about to see a pump from XRP and those other coins. And that's simply because they are ISO 20022 coins. And that's a pretty big deal because on March the 10th, 2025, the US will roll out its ISO 20022 upgrade. And you're like, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, this is basically a standardized financial language that you have to be compliant with to be able to be integrated into US traditional finance systems. Put it simply, if I have a NatWest bank and I want to send you £25 at Barclays, those are two different banks, but they have to have a language that both understands for you to receive the right amount of money on the other end. They're going to upgrade this payment system to the ISO thing for the traditional banks and things. But there's also 8 different altcoins, of which these are those 8 there, that people are speculating seeing huge price increases because of this news. But I know your question, how much higher can XRP go? How much higher can this go? Hold your horses. What you must do right now is calm the hell down and understand that different altcoins will pump at different times. I want you to think back to November and December. What happened when you went and FOMO'd into some of those altcoins at the top of their ranges, and then you've spent the last month or so down 30 or 40%? It's because you FOMO'd in. So don't FOMO in this time. Things are not different. Everything is always the same. Prices, while there is news and other excitement going on, are actually linked to something else. And it's simply this. Remember, every crypto out there, whether it's Dogecoin, whether it's XRP, whether it's Render, whether it's Bitcoin, Solana, has like positive things going for it, like the news and like kind of influencers talking about it or whatever it might be. But fundamentally, that price action, that line moving up and down, all those candlesticks is linked to one thing and one thing alone. People buying it and people selling it. If everybody is buying a coin, it goes up. If everybody starts to sell that coin, it goes down. And inevitably, there is only a certain amount of people to ever buy a coin. And there's also, the higher the price gets, you might say that lots more people are buying, but these people down here who made loads and loads of money can now pull out lots more money. Okay, so if I made 8x on an altcoin down here, I've got $800 to pull out up here. That means that it's going to take 8 people who've got $100 to come in and try and make up for me pulling out my profits. But you've actually got people down here putting billions of dollars in, pulling out $10 billion up here. Think how many people you need to ape in late to try and push the price higher. Typically, less smart money gets in late. They don't have as much money as the people who are smart money down here. And inevitably, the price will cool off. This doesn't have to mean it's the end of the bull market, but you often see short-term pullbacks during bull markets. So how do you know when this is coming? Well, look at the top. Greed, delusion, thrill, euphoria, a new economy. This is simply saying what people always end up saying. Well, this coin is different because it's one of these coins. Or this coin's different because this time Donald Trump and his mates are going to buy it and it's going to go sky high. No. Okay. Every single chart will follow a particular pattern. Some will go higher than others, but inevitably they come down. And the harder they come up, sometimes the harder they fall. So be very cautious. If you're seeing coins out there pumping that you're not holding, just be patient because your time will come. So for example, if you're thinking about jumping across and buying XRP right now, then just ask yourself, how much higher will XRP go given where it's at right now? And you could go away and look at the price action. You could go away and read the news about it, but probably one of the best things to do is do what I did and just come across a video like this. This is from Virtual Bacon. Good influencer, very knowledgeable about different cryptos. He talks about why I'm selling XRP crypto. And then you go across to the comment section. This is your key. This is your key always to understanding where we exist on this. Look, selling XRP to buy Sol is one of the worst possible bets. Selling XRP right now is the dumbest decision. Laugh my ass off. Just imagine selling your XRP. Ha 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 ha. These kind of like very like people are like really like angry and really hurt about someone else saying that they're going to sell XRP. Come on, Dennis, selling XRP under $3. What drugs do you use? Yeah, obviously XRP has actually gone over $3 since then. So maybe you did get out a little early. But look how far into this run that XRP is, and loads of other altcoins are nowhere near this run. It's nothing personal against one coin or another, but when people are really getting angry at you for particular coins and what you've said about them, probably time to move away from them for a while. It's not just this coin. It happens on every single coin all the time, okay? I made this video about Casper at the end of July. And in fact, I didn't really say anything bad at all in that video about Casper. I just said at the time the price was looking a little bit high. And it was at the end of July. Casper's around 19 cents at that time. And after that video, it came down around 48%, which is pretty crazy considering that many other altcoins from around the 5th of August actually kind of went up. Because this is like Sui down here on the 5th of August, and it just went up like crazy. And here we are in the comments, people being like, Casper doesn't pay him to shill them. This guy only likes coins that pay him to shill. And this guy rather eloquently puts, the House of Crypto, don't be a knobhead. You're just plain lying. That's how most of YouTubers do well, by lying. It's a fact. I mean, who knows? Obviously, people get very personal and very angry about this. But this is simply because of confirmation bias. People get very into their own crypto, which is weird, okay? Very weird. If you ever find yourself defending your crypto coin like it's your actual girlfriend, then it's time for you to walk away. So the other day when I saw YouTubers who've been making Casper videos like every day for the last 2 years, saying that they were going to sell their Casper and get out and move to other coins, I was like, actually, I'm going to open a long trade in Casper. And you can see that was around the despair and anger phase. I wanted to get in. No particular emotion towards any of these coins. Just use this, see the overall consensus, and try and react to it. Okay, so don't get caught up in any of it. Try and walk away from it. And I'm not telling you to go and sell XRP, okay? I'm just telling you, if you're not holding it and XRP kind of continues to go a little bit higher, be very cautious of diving into this, because I think there is a chance that we get one or two more pullbacks like this, okay? XRP rallies earlier, it has a pullback. It did this before while other coins that were pulling up into it, okay? So what's going to happen is it might rally up a bit more. Maybe it then has a bit more sideways action. During this period of time, other altcoins will be rallying. Not everything in crypto goes up at the same time. Okay, it's washing around between different projects at different times. So for example, when I've seen XRP rallying strongly, you might even see that like SUI kind of goes and cools off, okay, like this. But the other day when XRP wasn't doing much, SUI was pumping like crazy. Okay, SUI and XRP seem to be moving slightly different directions at different times. And there's a very good chance that people are putting money into one, taking the profits and moving into another. And if we know this, there should never be a need for FOMO, because we know that we're probably better off taking the money from the projects that have been doing well, like this, and moving into coins that are probably somewhere down this curve over here, okay? Maybe even just down into this area. Whereas typically what happens in crypto bull markets is people hold coins like down here, and they're like, oh, this coin's not going anywhere. Should I still be holding it? They take the money out and they go and put it into like XRP up here. Okay. What happens is XRP then pulls down sideways. This coin that's down here goes and does one of these, and then you're running around wondering why you can't catch a break. Okay. So just be patient. Understand that the catalyst will come to drive the narrative for the coin that you're holding at any given time. Last year, we saw AI kicking off at the start of the year. We then saw this piece of news from BlackRock, $10 trillion tokenized vision, the future of real world assets. You can see this was March the 21st, 2024, and that spurred this massive move here from Ondo, okay, Ondo Finance, real world asset platform. This then continued to rally all the way up until then, when the rest of the market was kind of bleeding pretty heavily towards the downside. Yeah, it then had a cool off. Right now, though, you can see Ondo has pulled back massively. No one's really talking about it. But this was a coin that, like, back in December, everyone's like, is it too late to get into Ondo? It's pretty straightforward in crypto. Identify that there are key narratives. Different narratives will run hot at different times. And really what you want to do is just hold a spectrum of different coins. Okay, if you get lucky and some of your altcoins absolutely boom, then perfect. Look to take profits on them and move that money from those coins into coins that are down here. This means that you then don't have to pin all your hopes on Ondo or whatever it is doing like a 10x. Because you could literally do like a 3x on here, move it across to here, get another 3x, and now you're significantly better off than if you just hold one altcoin forever, okay? Now, obviously, don't go and sell your entire bag of something, okay? Believe that it can still have a good chance of going higher. But let's say you've now got like $500 up here, times it's been running really hot against the rest of the market. Lots of the other coins are quite low down, not doing very well. You're starting to show your friends how well you've been doing in crypto. This is probably a good time to maybe take half that money out. Maybe you could put it into something else. Maybe you could take it out completely. This is probably a much cooler and calmer way to operate throughout this crypto bull market. Now, on tomorrow's video, I am going to update you on every coin in my crypto portfolio. I'm going to tell you the ones that I think are closer towards where I'm taking profits, and I'm going to tell you the ones that I think have got the biggest growth ahead of them. So if you are not already, then make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell turned on. Now, recently on the channel, we've talked about a lot of different altcoins. Coins like My Lovely Planet, that's been up nearly 6x since we first called it on the channel. Coins like Heart from Humans AI, also been seeing some incredible gains. And we called Sui back in the summer. And many of these coins I've been told about by other experts who are working in the Moon House, which is our private chat group. Now, this group is designed to cut out all the noise across crypto. It's myself and 2 other full-time experts who are sharing our various different trades in here at any given time. For example, coins like Leica that's recently been exploding towards the upside. Harold that did more than a 6x pretty much within a few days of this call. Play that's now pushing towards all-time highs, and many others. Not only do we share the individual coin calls that we're making, but we also keep you up to date on the distilled news and alpha that's available across the markets. We're studying these markets 24/7, but we know that many of you don't have the time to be able to do that. So if you want to come to a place where you can get all of the compact alpha, be able to know which altcoins to be buying and selling at any given time, as well as being able to ask questions in the group and join a weekly alpha Zoom call where you can watch me over my shoulder going through various different tutorials on how to find altcoins and how to find the next altcoin gems that can genuinely give you 30 to 50x. then make sure you join the Moonhouse. It's linked down below in the description. It's currently $100 per month, but I know that from the next altcoin calls that go in there, you'll be able to repay that money straight away. So if you want, join the Moonhouse, link down below. Now guys, thanks very much for watching all the way through to this point. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow in another video. Bye-bye.